Good evening, welcome to Central News for Friday the 11th of October. I'm Hilary Entwistle. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and many events have been held around our regions, including a Hot Pink Walk coming up next Wednesday. The annual Hot Pink Walk along the Strand in Tauranga usually sees around 1,000 people dressed in pink to celebrate survivors and remember those who have passed. Lee Lundhoff of Breast Cancer Support Services in Tauranga says the key message is early detection.
The key message definitely is get familiar with your breasts. In the shower, have a feel, any lumps and bumps, do something about it, go and get them checked. Look in the mirror too, because it's not just lumps and bumps. If there's any changes to the skin, to the nipple, any dimpling, definitely get it checked. It could be cancer. It may not, but it's worth knowing. So just get familiar. Any changes, get them checked.
The Not So Superannuation campaign run by the Future Communications team at Waikato University has just come to an end. The campaign focused on making plans for retirement early in life so as not to be left limited or stressed financially in retirement. While highlighting a more realistic picture of retirement for young people, the campaign also started discussion amongst those who are already retired or those who are putting plans in place now to ensure they will not struggle financially. President of the team, Erica Manthe, says that this is exactly what the campaign aimed to achieve.
The Not So Superannuation campaign was a public relations campaign which encouraged New Zealanders to take control of their own retirement and start saving now, also intending to develop a sense of financial self-sufficiency into the New Zealand culture in terms of retirement.
More people will be able to fly from Tauranga to Auckland next year with the addition of a 68-seat ATR 72 aircraft to the airport's manifest. Air New Zealand has confirmed the aircraft will fly the evening weekday flight between Tauranga and Auckland in place of the 50-seat Q300 from February 2014. Air New Zealand is also going to replace some 19-seat weekend flights with 50-seaters from next year. More bars, but no more off-licences or pubs will be allowed in industrial areas, and there will be no restrictions on outlets' proximities to schools, according to a new local alcohol policy. The final decision on the number and locations of liquor outlets were made by the City and District Council's Joint Governance Committee on Tuesday. The decision to cap off licences will be added to the trading hours of 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. for off licences agreed to last week, and 9 a.m. till 1 a.m. for bars except in Tauranga CBD, where bars can remain open until 3 a.m. with a one-way door system from 2 a.m. The policy is likely to be ratified as one of the first actions of the new council sometime in November or December. It cannot legally be publicly notified until after December 18th. Now for our region's weather for the weekend. Hamilton, it does not look very nice for your Saturday. Showers with a chance of heavy rain in the evening and a strong, cold southwesterly. Your expected high is 16 and an overnight low of 8. Tauranga, your Saturday will have rain easing to showers. Your expected high is 18 and an overnight low of 9. Hamilton, Sunday looks a lot better, mostly fine with a few showers. Your expected high is 17 and an overnight low of 8. Sunday for you, Tauranga, will be mostly fine, but there will be a gusty westerly. Your expected high is 19 and an overnight low of 10. Just ahead, MS Bay of Plenty. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. MS Bay of Plenty is holding a tour of Tauranga to raise awareness and funds for the relatively unknown disease. I caught up with two of the organisers to find out about the cycling tour. So tell us about your tour of Tauranga.
It's a charity bike ride and it starts and finishes at the Strand. It explores some of the nice cycleways, that some of them are quite new around Tauranga. It's a lot of fun. It's for sort of anyone over the age of 12 and it'll probably take about between an hour and a half and 2 hours or 2.5 hours. And it's not competitive, it's just a fun event, lots of spot prizes. And
So is that quite easy? Will it involve training?
no, you don't have to train for it. There's a couple of hills, but it's not too challenging.
What will the funds raised go towards?
The funds go towards multiple sclerosis in the Bay of Plenty. This goes towards the employment of the field workers. There's 2 in fact, and it goes towards the people with multiple sclerosis and to look out after them and help in their days.
What is multiple sclerosis and what effect does it have on the body?
Multiple sclerosis, it affects the body by your nervous system, and on the nervous system, which obviously is protected by the myelin sheath, and the myelin sheath, it dissolves. So it's basically 2 nerves can touch each other and make your body do unusual and weird things, or signals won't come down from the brain properly. It's just so many effects to the body. It could be the brain, it could be your body, it could be just fatigue.
Can you explain a day in the life of someone with MS?
That is a tricky one because, as Patrick said, the myelin, so it's that controls, or the nerve controls different parts of the body, so it depends what is affected to how it affects that person. So it could be balance, disbalance, or fatigue, or muscle weakness, and that they can't stand up. So
how does it impact on your everyday life?
Everyday life, it can be different. Every day is different. Some days you have good days, some days you have bad days. It depends if you're in a relapse or you're actually just without a relapse. If you're in a relapse, as I was only a few weeks ago, I had 0 balance. I had 0 movement in my left hand. Now after taking steroids, it's come back straight again, but I'm not perfect. I am able-bodied, and the next person down the road would never know that I had MS, but you just have to be sensible in your everyday life and think about what you're doing and know your limits.
And how does it impact on your everyday life?
my balance is really bad. I just have to be careful with moving, really. And I get tired more easily than I used to. I used to do a lot of triathlons and multi-sport and things, but I just can really only concentrate on what doesn't involve balance, which is swimming, so I can do that. But it can affect fatigue things. And
how does it impact on family?
Family impact is massive, not only just physically but mentally, because a lot of this you can't see the illness, and you're living every day with it. And sometimes when you're trying to make excuses for not doing things, that it's more like it's just being lazy again, but you're not. It is a big impact on the family, and sometimes because you cannot see the illness, it does get forgotten about.
And I think, I can relate to that, and you tend to push yourself a lot harder because you don't want to be seen as not doing what you should or you could do, or you used to be able to do.
Which is the same for work. Work's exactly the same. And myself and Jodie, we're both in full-time employment, but we still have to be sensible in the employment of what we can do and can't do. And sometimes you'll say you can do something for the following week, a certain job, and then the following week your illness is completely different, and you've just got to put your hands up and say, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
And so it's trying to make people understand as well, which is quite hard because we don't really understand it either, It's always changing.
Is there much research going into MS treatments and cures?
Yeah, every day.
Every day across the world.
Yeah.
Across the world there's research going in all the time. The biggest research at the moment is more natural research, which is actually vitamin D. That's the one thing they've really found there's major benefits from.
Yeah, vitamin D and lifestyle factors.
Definitely with
Diet and exercise and just
look after your health.
Yeah.
Would you say MS is one of the more unknown diseases?
Definitely unknown to a lot. I think the doctors are very easily putting things into MS because they don't know what that particular illness is, so they just put it under the category of MS. And at the moment there's no cure, so yeah, it's still very unknown.
The tour is on this Sunday, 13th of October at 10 a.m. and you can register until 9:30 for $5. And they're meeting on the Strand in Tauranga. Great way to see the city and raise funds for a great cause. Coming up next, rides in the park. Welcome back. Rides in the Park has been confirmed for another year as organisers have found a suitable venue for the event to be held. The event raises money for families who are coping with a child who is severely unwell. Two of the organisers join me in studio to tell us all more about the event and the cause. Welcome to the program to both of you. Now, what is Ride in the Park?
Rides in the Park is a charity event for families where all the proceeds and money go towards families who have children who are suffering from disability or diseases. Any kind of diseases. We just thought that it would be a good idea to just make it general because so many different organisations and foundations are just based around a singular particular disease or disability, so we just made it general, and yeah, we're actually looking forward to the event happening very soon.
So what happens at the event?
What happens? Trucks, cars, bikes roll in, they all set up for displays, bouncy castles, face painting, the public come in, we have entertainers on the stage, and family just has a great day.
Yeah. It is pretty much just a family day out with live entertainment. There's a kids corner where the kids can go out and have a play around. We've got bouncy castles, face painting, and also a lot of other free rides and stuff during the day. So yeah, and there's also a ladies corner too.
Yeah.
So if the ladies don't want to, if the ladies don't want to go around looking at the cars and stuff like that, there's going to be a few little things around there for the ladies to go chill out, and yeah, hopefully some pampering and some makeup for the day for ladies, so yeah.
So this sounds huge. I mean, you've got something for the ladies, you've got something for the kids, you've got all these rides coming in. And you guys, a bunch of you have organised this purely out of the goodness of your hearts to raise money for children.
Yeah, it started last year. A friend, Miha, who's started the whole thing, was going to do a barbecue for a friend with a sick child. And a couple of the other guys said, well, we'll come and we'll bring our trucks. And then it kind of escalated from there. And then somebody else said, well, why don't we get some cars on board? And then somebody said, well, why don't we turn it into a day? And that's how it progressed. So yeah, last year we had 70 odd trucks, 20 cars and about a dozen bikes. This year we're looking at a lot more, a lot of interest.
And then all that was thrown together in a couple of months as well, so it was just word of mouth really. Just people wanting to...
Just an idea.
Yeah, it's just people wanting to get in on the good buzz of the whole...
Yeah, helping a couple of families out with their children.
Wow.
Then just grew from there.
How much did you raise last year?
After everything, all our donations and things came in and all our expenses went out, $3,100 was raised, and that was divided between the two families.
Wow. How do you choose two families like?
Well, initially a family was there because they were friends of Miha's, and then another lot of people were kind of, well, we know this kid and we know this kid, so it was just a matter of defining how bad their illness was, what kind of assistance they have available for them, and what kind of care and stuff, and then saying, well, okay, we think that maybe these ones are a little bit more worthy, not because their illness is, different from that other kid.
Yeah.
It's just that what's available to them can define how much funding they do or don't have.
Yeah.
So where the assistance is needed the most is probably how we do our selection.
Have you chosen this year?
Yes, we have.
Yep, we've got two children this year. A 3-year-old boy who's just not long had his birthday, Tiago, and Lily's our little girl, and she's 5 coming up 6 shortly.
It's her birthday this weekend, so yeah.
Happy birthday, Lily.
So what is the competition aspect of the event?
We have the trucks come in and the cars and the bikes. It's to help towards the fundraising, obviously. They all pay a fee to display their vehicles, and all of that money comes in and goes towards the families. So every cent that we make either goes on the expenses of the event or it goes to the families. So it's just so that we can incorporate a family, so Dad can come in and have a look at the trucks, and the little boys can get excited excited about the cars and the bikes, and it's just so that we can bring everybody in together as a family and have it as a family day.
And then throughout the day too, there'll be also rides for the kids as well. So, so to get the kids to go through the trucks and blow the horns and stuff like that, and jump in the cars, and then also hop on the motorbikes as well. So yeah, the council have allowed us to do that this year. So yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
That's every kid's little dream, really, isn't it?
It is very much so. So yeah.
Oh wow! So how can, if we want to support you guys and help out with the event, how can we do that?
At the moment, the best thing to do would be to come down during the day, because it's only our second year that we've actually ran this event. We haven't actually set up like a charity or anything like that, but that is something that the committee will discuss after this event. And the best way to contact us and to help out will be to come down on the day, or get in touch with us via our email address.
And our Facebook page. Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's lots of options. You can bring your car, your truck, your bike down and donate that way by having it on show. You could, if you've got a service or a product that you think might be family orientated and want to do a stall, we have stall sites available. So we've got a lot of those. Last year the ice cream man sold out, the coffee lady sold out. It was really great, and they donated some of their proceeds from the end of the day. So it was great. Gold coin donations, obviously, for entry. You know, we want it to be as cheap and fun as possible, but still be able to contribute to the families. And that's where, you know, lots of things you go and it costs you an arm and a leg. This is just
This is just there for the family for the day. Just to give them a good day.
And it's not often nowadays that you see people volunteering their time for a good cause.
No, and we've got lots of volunteers. There's just so many. I couldn't even name them all. We've got some security guys that have all of their security team are going to be there for security for us. We've got family members that said, you know, from each of our families that have come in and said, yeah, we'll do this and we'll do that, and we'll help with the barbecue, and I'll be the MC for you, and you know, LJ and I, Miha, Trey, Lee, going out getting prizes. Bruce Trinell, he's done an amazing job for us. He's brought us some really amazing sponsors as well.
So how many people are you expecting this year?
In comparison to last year, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be stoked if we got probably an extra 2,000 more. I'd be. 2,000 more. It wouldn't surprise me if we doubled it though, because last year there was so many people that it was just they heard about it at the last minute, or they saw it driving past the event and didn't know about it, so forth. So yeah, I think we're expecting a rather large crowd this year.
It sounds like such an amazing event and such an amazing thing that you guys have done out of the goodness of your heart. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us, and thanks for letting us share Rides in the Park.
Remember, Rides in the Park will be held on the 30th of November from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. It will be later this year as they're having a light display, and it's at the Inns Common Lakefront in Hamilton, so make sure you get down there and support the cause. Just ahead, the completed Pilot Bay Boardwalk. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. The Pilot Bay Boardwalk is completed and there will be a celebration tomorrow. I went along to see what all the fuss was about with Warren Aitken from the Tauranga City Council. When is the Pilot Bay Boardwalk due to be finished?
The boardwalk is pretty much completed now, but we're putting a few finishing touches together so that it's finished on Friday for the first cruise ship to arrive on Saturday.
We have a bit of a celebration when it's completed?
We're having a small blessing on Friday morning, but the main celebration will be on Saturday afternoon as the ship leaves in conjunction with the Mount Main Street.
Why was the decision made to weave it in and out amongst the trees?
The original design was for the boardwalk to go on the beach side of the trees, but after quite a bit of debate and consultation with local residents and other groups, it was decided to put the boardwalk on the road side of the trees where possible to maximise the green space.
And some of the boardwalk is actually part of a bigger project, isn't it?
Yes, there's three projects all coming together at the same time. The boardwalk itself, the pedestrian crossings and traffic calming measures, and also the stormwater upgrade around Pilot Bay as well.
And the boardwalk is looking very good and all ready for summer. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and I caught up with one of the faces of the Like Minds, Like Mine campaign, Aubrey Quinn, to hear about his journey through depression.
I can certainly tell you about my experience with the mental health system, having been through it, and there's a lot of people who are probably in my situation as well. I think 47% of New Zealanders have had a mental health experience. 20% of people have an experience in a given year as well. So what I've experienced is nothing outside of the ordinary. It's part of the human condition, and that's probably the key element that it takes a long time to kind of adjust to, because when you're in there, it's really hard work, and getting out, you require a lot of love and support from people.
Tell us about your recovery.
Well, with a lot of love and support, but if I was to put it in a context for Mental Health Awareness Week, it was because people actually gave their time and attention to me. They encouraged me to be active, which involved mates coming round and dragging me out when I really didn't feel like getting out and was basically very depressed. I had to learn my way out, so that was finding out what was happening to me and asking questions of doctors that were involved in my care. Taking notice and actually slowing down, and realised that I probably led a life that was going a bit too fast. I wanted to get to the top of the mountain before I'd actually learned how to climb. So, and then finally, I guess, learning to give and sharing my story was part of that as well. And really learning how to connect with people. Like minds, like mine. What does it mean? Well, essentially, it's a government-funded program that helps to challenge stigma and discrimination. So one of the key kind of aspects that hinders recovery is stigma. So people can have internalised stigma, but they can also have discrimination. People often face discrimination, and that really impacts on recovery. And then people actually get trapped, believing that they've got something that's wrong with them, something that's abnormal from society. And it's something that actually, if people can get over that stigma, then they go on to lead really fulfilling lives. What would your message be then for people who are out there who may be feeling like they are experiencing that stigma? Hang on in there. I think that you've got to have good people around you, so you've got to be able to communicate that. So if something's not right, being able to find one person that you can tell your story to, that really helps. So finding people who listen, and once you do that, that starts to open up the pathway, and you can kind of, re-navigate your way out of the situation that you face yourself in. And remember, it is okay to ask for help, and you can confidentially free phone the Depression Helpline on 0800 111 757. That is the news for today and this week. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have views including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. I will be back next week with more guests from in and around our regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening and a fantastic weekend.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.